I hear a lot of people, talking about, food insecurity and hunger, and they make it kind of synonymous, but the two couldn't be more different. We've actually seen people who would come through, say, one of our food bank drive-throughs, and they would actually have a McDonald's bag with the kids eating nuggets and apple slices coming through the food bank drive-through. So it's obvious that they're eating, so they're not hungry. So the question isn't, are they hungry? Because obviously they're not. But the question is, where's that next meal coming from? Are they going to be able to eat for the next 2 days, the next week, the next month? So our job is to ensure we should be happy that they have a happy meal, no pun intended. But the reality is we want to make sure that they can eat long term. So food insecurity is about hunger prevention. If folks are coming to us hungry, we are too late. To me, hunger in America should be a crime, at least a misdemeanor. In my mind, hunger has to go. And just to go back a little bit on some of the slang I came up with, hunger has to go, and we need to say no more, not M-O-R-E, but M-O, hunger, no more. No one should be hungry. Now, I hear people talk about being hungry a lot too. I've heard people say this, I'm hungry, I need something to eat. But trust me, you don't know hunger. The hunger is not when your stomach is burning. Our hunger is worse than that. And I don't know, not to give an anatomy class, but the reality is when your body's actually hungry, your body begins to consume itself to survive and to protect the vital parts of your body. And you never want to be at that point. Trust me, that's a bad place to be. So again, let's not take it for granted. Hunger is a real issue in this country and we need to eradicate it. But we have to eradicate it by addressing food insecurity. So let's get ahead of the problem, not just intervene, but we need to be there long before a person or family is ever hungry. Is I hear people talk about homelessness as if most of the people that are homeless brought it on themselves. In many cases, homeless people in our community, they were living just like you and I, had a place to live, a job, transportation, families, whatever, but the bottom fell out. So it can be a lot of mitigating circumstance that leads a person to being homeless. Now, it is a reality. There are some people in this country, a pretty significant number of people who are homeless on purpose. They desire to be homeless. But most people who are homeless do not want to be in that situation. And it's unfair for us to assume that when we see a homeless person that somehow they brought it on themselves. If COVID-19 taught us anything at all, that all of us are 30 minutes away, if that, from that being our reality. I hear people talk about affordable housing. Well, affordable housing is you living somewhere you can afford to pay the mortgage or the rent. So all of us live in affordable housing. So why would you look at somebody or a family that's living in affordable housing as if they're less than we are? We all live in affordable housing, right? Preferably, you can afford to live wherever it is that you choose to live. Abuse is something that really, really saddens me. It gets to me, to my core, it hurts. And being a kid that was abused for a long period during my childhood. I don't even remember being in elementary school and there was a day where I wasn't bullied or jumped on or picked on. I've been ran over by bicycles, stomped into the ground. I remember a few times I was running home, right? And so it had to be about 4 or 5 boys that were chasing me. So I remember literally while I'm running, I'm like, they're going to catch me eventually, right? And when they catch me, they're going to kill me. So when I'm running, I'm like, let me run somewhere where if they catch me, let me stay out of the woods. Because if they catch me and kill me, somebody would find my body. So my whole thought process wasn't, was I going to make it home? It was like, what's going to be the right place for me to die? So at least they could find my body. As an 8 or 9-year-old, that's the kind of stuff that went through my mind. So probably about a year or so after that, I got up enough courage. I said, I'm going to show these kids how tough I am. And what I did, I have no idea who my father is to this day. I have no idea who he is, his loss. But at any rate, I had no father. So I went through an old photo album and I found a photo of a man that I thought could probably be my father. I didn't know who he was. But I took the picture and put it in my pocket. And I thought, man, if I take this to school and them bullies try to pick on me, I'll say, hey, this man is waiting at home. He's going to help me. That's how sad it was. Of course, to no avail, they continued to abuse me to the point where I wanted to take my own life. Now I'm 8, 9, 10 years old, wanting to commit suicide. How sad is that? Because I thought my whole purpose on earth was to be abused, picked on, and destroyed. And that's what I was here for. Why not speed up the process? And that's an 8, 9, 10-year-old, right? Where I felt dominated by other people. But here's what happens with all types of abusers, whether they're bullies, sexual abusers, physical abuse, emotional abuse, all the above, whoever they are, they want to dominate you. They want to control you. And it all starts with control. There's no human on this earth, in my mind, my belief, that's meant to be controlled unless you're a slave or incarcerated. That you should not be, and even that has limitations. No human should be controlled by another human being ever under any circumstance. I don't care if you've been married for 1 month or 100 years. You are not to be controlled by anybody. You are an individual. You have liberty, you have freedom, you have a right to be whoever you choose to be, regardless of how they may feel, right? But what happens is, with abusers, they want to control you. So those boys who were chasing me, they were trying to control me. And I let them, they took over and they were in my head. How many nights have you went or driven home from work or laid in bed thinking about other people and all the stuff they were doing to you while they were out partying, having a good time, and you were sitting there suffering and struggling because you were worried about what they were doing? Take your power back. Take your power back and stand up and be who you are. No one controls you. No one has control over your destiny. Nobody determines where you end up or what you end up doing. No one on earth controls that. That's between you and God. That's between you and God, not you and another person. So take your power back. Be empowered. Listen, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees 24/7. And I'm encouraging you all, take your power back. Abusers, they're losers. Abusers, they fail. People like you and I, we prevail.